Hey, it's been a long time since I've been on my YouTube. I've had a death that's near and dear, very close to my heart, my family's heart. And nevertheless, we're getting this thing started back up. So I am going to talk to you about masculine energy, about a mother or a parent that has to be the only parent in the household. And how does that transform into masculine energy, or maybe even the hardship that boys may run into when it's the mother that's running the household or the head of the household. Okay, so let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. 00J Love. So right now, I'm gonna be working and talking. I wanted to talk about masculine energy and how that comes off as a single parent. I'm going to talk about specifically my opinion and for me. So when I was married, I'm on my second marriage, but initially when I was married, I think the household was balanced. I could be the fun, loving, nurturing mother, while my husband at the time, I'm going to say, backed me up. He still wanted to be the fun, laid back dad, but he would back me up. That was the important ingredients into that, with 3 boys. And so I think when I did end up getting a divorce, what happened is I did not want to fail my children. I did not want to fail myself. And when I say fail, I'm saying I wanted to continue to be successful. I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And I wanted to be able to provide for my children. Of course, I wanted to still be the fun-loving mother, but I know I had to become the disciplinarian, which I had always been, but I could still be fun-loving. And I guess in the end, I found myself, or I have now realized that, yeah, the masculine energy took over. And I'm gonna say the reason for me was I was in the military, I was in leadership positions, I was an officer, I was a black female, small, short officer running and in charge of men. And I didn't want to fail. They definitely wasn't going to see me cry. And I wanted to succeed in any mission that I was given. So with that said and done, how do you go from the leadership on the job into the leadership at home? So I will say that I was still married while I was in the military in my first marriage. But after I got out of the military, I still was a leader in a leadership position. I owned my own business. I was in charge of 13 or more women. I mean, how much harder could it get? 13 or more women. And it was a low paying job for the women that had hired. You know, they weren't getting all the money they can possibly get or anything like that. And for that matter, I was working really hard and I wasn't making that much money either, because it was my business and I was trying to provide inexpensive care. So with that said and done, when you bossing so much at work or you're in such a leadership position, how do you then come home and not keep it up a notch or two? Because I think I was fighting so much at work to get the job done. Not all the time and going, but I had to make sure this was dress right dress, this was successful, this was that, to where when I got home, that I don't believe turned off. And so I'm still trying to make sure things are in order, things are successful. I'm doing the best that I could. I think the main thing that affected me with my boys was that when I feel like I'm doing all that I can, I'm providing a roof, I got your clothes, you don't look a mess, you have food, you're not hungry, plenty of food in the pantry, on and on and on. But then when you start failing in your grades and I'm having to push you and I'm having to ride you, then there for me, I believe, was the issue. Because my oldest son, he stopped performing, and I think the divorce, because we divorced when he was about 11 years old. And when I speak with the counselor, understanding now, 11 and 12 are vital years. And so we were divorcing at vital years for him. And so, I truly don't know how much that affected him. And he hasn't really said to this day how much did that truly affect him. He just looks back and say, you weren't a good parent and blah, blah, blah. But in the same token, can I then say that, well, you wasn't all that as a son because your grades, and I had to push you and encourage. I had to constantly go to the school. He wasn't fighting or stealing or anything like that. It was just his grades that were just, killing me. I just didn't understand. And I think part of me not understanding was because no one got on me as far as get your work done and do this and do your homework and make sure this is going right. And I was a pretty good child, and I think that may be the difference. Not only was I a female, but I was a pretty good child. I had my own structure. I would come home, if I could eat a snack or whatever, I would get my homework. After I did my homework, I would look at TV, and I would watch nature or something like that. It wasn't, I'm not going to do any work. No, I wanted to be proud of my grades. With no one pushing me, I wanted to be successful in school. When it came time, I was like, I wanted a job. I wanted to drive. Like, I was the forefront on all of those things. It was nobody in my house. Matter of fact, I got a job, saved my money, put myself through driver's ed and things of that nature. So, my oldest son, it was like we had to force him to do driver's ed. And then I had to force him to get his grades. And then it was so much forcing to accomplish things that, are you gonna go into college or military? And he was like, I'll go to college. And then he didn't do good and he wasn't successful. And it's like, no, you're gonna have to, he wasn't working. It's like, so you're going to need to go to the military because he wasn't getting a job. So it's like, okay, these are your options. Go to college or get a job. And I still, with that part, I don't feel bad about it or go to trade school. Do something to where you're a productive citizen. That's always my goal, for my child to be a productive citizen. Well, Janika, how's that turning out for you? It's fine with me. I get you to be a productive citizen, but what it is maybe when, I look back and say maybe he should have just gone to counseling when we got that divorce. That probably would have helped a lot. And even if it wouldn't have helped him, it probably would have helped me because the counselor probably would have pointed out where you have too much masculine energy. What do you mean, counselor, masculine energy? what I understand, and I can't say masculine energy is bad or anything, but what I can understand is that, especially if you have an alpha male and you're showing masculine energy, it's going to affect the family one way or another. It's just, how do you taper down the masculine energy? That's the main thing. I was looking at some video someone sent me, and it was talking about, no, you don't have to do the masculine energy. You step back and you let the community, or that's where your maybe your church members or your tribe comes in, and they help out with that. That's a lot of extra work also, because you have to depend on your tribe. What if your tribe doesn't come through like you would like them to come through, or your tribe, maybe you have to take them here and you have to take them there, and you also don't want your child to be sexually molested. You just never know about these things. So, how do you taper back your masculine energy that you may show as a female? So that's the hard part. I can't say masculine energy is necessarily completely bad, because we women are no longer in the household just cooking and just watching the children. We are doing everything, and we are doing it all. We are not only outside of the house paying bills and working and running children here, we're inside of the house, and we're having to clean, and we're having to take care of this and that and manage, and probably paying bills and on top of bills and on top of schoolwork, and then we want to watch a little TV too. We want to kick back a little bit. We want to have our star lit and rise, and like I say, just because you're married or just because you have children, it doesn't mean that you don't have a life to live yourself, or like put out your dreams. Like, you can no longer dream. How dare anybody tell me I can no longer dream? Or, because you had a child, you can't do this and that. It's just the balance. Now, is it hard to balance? It's very hard to balance. Is it going to take a lot of additional help to balance? Yes, it's going to take additional help. How do you balance? How structured are you? That may be my thing. Maybe I'm too structured, because I like stuff dress right dress. I just do. And as I get older, I'm really worse, but I'm trying to chill out on it, and trying to not let every little thing bother me, or say, no, why did he sit there right there on that countertop, and he know that doesn't go right there on that countertop. So I'm trying. I'm putting forth effort, trying to get this thing right. Because, now I have 2 daughters. I'm a mother of 5. Daughters are very different than girls. But, like I say, I do want the balance, because one thing for sure, like my brother pointed out one time, he said, well, if they're taught at an early age and they know they know what you expect of them, then they should have it down. Yeah, that would be a beautiful thing, and that would be something that we would want. But a lot of times, when they become teenagers, there's challenges within that. And like I say, I think my hardest thing is when I work so hard and I do all that I do, and you're not trying to get your grades together, and you're not trying to, I got my knee pads on, you're not trying to be successful in your own right, or maybe you're not helping the household, then that's a problem within itself. So I'm gonna need you not to just point your finger at me, because it's not all me. I need y'all to understand, children, that it's not all your mother and my fault and what I didn't do as a parent, or what you would have liked for me to do, because this parenting thing is not easy. I've been talking to different people, and you're like, well, and people may judge you because maybe they have successful children, or they may judge you because they don't have children. And so, you know, a lot of times it's like, how dare you judge me? And you don't even know what it's like to be a parent. Like someone living with you, like you waking up having to feed them at night, in the morning, like, you know, you knowing what they want, what they don't want, like when they reaching for you and you trying to hurry up and do this and that, but you have to care for them, and you have to, and you want to do it. Don't get me wrong. You want to do it, but you know, and you have to read a book, and you need to take them to church, and you have to, you know, you want to read them Bible stories, and you want to read them just books about life, and you want to teach them the ABCs and they 1, 2, 3s, and then you have to get hit with algebra that you may not even remember how to do it, all this math stuff, and then you take them to the tutor, and they don't want to go to tutoring, and but you know you have to go into, and you're looking out for the best thing for them, but they may not receive it. Those are the hard things. You're trying to instill of them lifelong necessities that they don't know that they need, and they're not receiving it. They don't want to receive it. And everything is your fault. So when is a child going to say, okay, I messed up and I understand that I messed up and everything is not my parents' fault? When are they going to do that? But, you know, what can we do as women as far as masculine energy? So if you all are wondering what I'm doing a new building, I'm doing new construction, I'm doing a commercial building. I didn't cover up my floors like I was supposed to. And I know better, and I knew better, and I just didn't do it. And I was trying to hurry up and do this, and I was like, oh, I'll clean it myself. But it's better to just cover your floors so you can be ready and not have to worry about the extra stuff. You know, I don't mind working, and I'm a hard worker, but some things you don't put on yourself. So that's that. So right now, they need to install my toilets. I need my toilets installed Monday. So what I did, I put some walls up because the partition for the bathrooms, those things they quoted me like $5,000. I'm like, man. And another business friend of mine was like, just build your walls. So I did build my walls and stuff, put my sheetrock on. I have other stuff to do with it. But I was trying to cut my price down, and I'm going to see, because I was thinking if I just did the partition doors and not have to worry about these partition, it would have cut my price down. But it looked like they still talking about $4,000. So you mean I only saved $1,000? No ma'am, no sir. So I'm gonna see what else I can do to save the overall part. So anyway, nevertheless, so I'm getting ready to open a new commercial facility, and I'm gonna do footage and videos on that so you can see the beginning to the end soon, I guess, and then we'll go from there on things like that. So yeah, so how do we bring down masculine energy? I talked about masculine energy before with Melody Hope, how her husband Martell, and I always was telling my ex-husband, I said, you need to watch Marriage and Love Huntsville, because you remind me a lot of Martell, because his thing, he was a good man and all that, his thing was he was just cheating, and that's like Martell. And I understand Melody when she says, I believed him. I stayed with him because I believed him. I believed that he was going to stop cheating. And that's the same thing with me. I can believe it. You don't want to break up your family, but you want your happiness also. You want your happiness, and you believe when they say to you, I'm going to stop cheating. I'm not going to do that anymore. That was it's just something that happened. And you try to give people chances and chances. You try your best. Because you want to believe that thing, that they're going to stop cheating, they're going to do the right thing. You want to believe that they're going to treat you right. So I understand completely Melody. I understand Melody. You know, and I know she says she hates Huntsville and she wants to leave. You know, I hate that she wants to leave Huntsville because of her ex-husband. But, you know, he finally showed his little son, and I was shocked. I have to tell you, I'm like, oh, finally. I was shocked. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the texture off the floors and just cleaning the floors up and everything. And so that's working within itself, because when the floor is wet, it looks clean, but then when it dries, it's like, oh no, that's not clean as I thought it was. And so I just have to keep at it, work on it, but I'm almost there. Oh. So there's this post on Instagram. Let me see who it was by. I'm not sure. Let me see. After my divorce, I raised my children. She talked about, it is DTR 360 books. But she was talking about masculine and women putting it all on themselves. They say when men raise children by themselves, they don't become overly feminine, but we as women become overly masculine because we are taking everything on ourselves. So, and yeah, nobody tells us to. I always, like I said, thought of mine because I was in leadership positions. Not to mention I was raised by a single black woman that I always saw how strong she was. I always saw that she had to do this and she had to do that, and she always kept a job and she always worked. The only thing about that part was she stayed, you know, she wasn't good with money. Whereas I made sure that I was good with money, but I made sure I did this, I did that, I did this. Their dad, like I said, was in their life, but he wanted to be the fun dad. I'm like, you're not teaching them how to cut the grass. Come on, guys, let me go teach you how to cut the grass. You're not teaching them how to wash a car. Come on, guys, let me teach you how to wash a car. So I made that one of my, I made everything my job. Let's just say, call a thing a thing. I made everything my job, which unbalanced me and keeps me unbalanced. Because, like, if I am wanting an alpha man, because that's what I need somebody to hold me down. I need somebody to say, look here, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this way. Back up, Missy, back up. I do need somebody to pull my coattail, because I'm not attracted to little small men, because I will be ready to fight. That's the bad thing about me. I made sure I stopped fighting a long time ago, but I just know me, and that might be a trigger of mine. I'll be like, this little dude, what he say? So I need somebody bigger, way bigger than me, so I'll be like, pump my brakes, like, you lucky you bigger than me, I'll come over there and eat you for breakfast. But, you know, so like she was talking about, nobody made us. We're taking it on ourselves. Nobody's making us be over masculine or anything like that. But, you know, women, we've always been known to do everything. And then if we're not doing everything, then that means that we're going to have to need to depend on others. And so it's easier said than done, but I personally don't like to depend on others, because others let you down. And so, just like at the funeral, like I say, somebody really near and dear hit the family, and I was let down tremendously, but people that I didn't know would come up and supported me, and I thank God for that, because that's what I needed. So my tribe came from somewhere else. They have always been around. I just didn't know that they were going to help me like they did. So I didn't know that they were going to support me like they did. When you think your own family that you talk to all the time they didn't show up, and it's not like I'm asking anybody for money. I got everything. I can pay for everything. I got everything. That's not the problem. I just need your support, your love. I don't want you to summon me to call you. You call me and check on me. Well, I didn't call me. Like, no. You call me and you let me know you're concerned. Why I have to call you? You know, it's just one me. And it's all of you all. Call me. Call me and check on me. You more concerned about yourself. That's how I see it. If you wasn't calling me, the people that know what's going on, if you weren't calling me and you summoned me to call you, okay, I'm going to call you. I'm going to see what you got to say. You ain't saying nothing. You could have called me. You humble yourself. I'm humble. I pray for humbleness all the time. Every day I pray for humbleness from God. I stay humble. I don't care if I'm building 5 commercial buildings. I pray for humbleness. I pray that you get the same person now, if not even better, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. That's what I pray for. That's why I'm on these floors scrubbing. I don't have to do this. I do not have to do this. I don't have to do this. It's better than me being in a club dancing. That's just what I think. I ain't listening to my Bishop T.D. Jakes. I can listen to my gospel music. I can listen to DJ Richie Sky, Funky Dineva. I give me a little raw stuff. I listen to some other stuff too. You know, I listen to my gospel music. I do all my things. Look, I got my knee pads. I got knee pads underneath and I got my knee pads on top. Because I don't play with these knees. I don't play about these knees. I'm 48 years old. I don't play about these knees. I gotta still be able to jog and run, throw the football, catch it, play baseball, softball. I don't play about these knees. Stay in shape, do my thing, be able to still cook a good meal. But, you know, I believe God is covering me. I believe my God is protecting me. Even though I'm going through it, even though everything is not in order like I wish it was, I wish it could be. All I know is I feel like God's got me. I told somebody, I don't know if the Holy Ghost or if it's my female, I can't think of the word. My mind be going and shuffling and stuff like that. Like I said, death is really close, hit home. And but you know, somebody said, quit saying that, it's the spirit talking to you. But you know, it feels like, because I said, what is the spirit, the Holy Spirit, what does it feel like? But it feel like, I know at one point, at some points, it feel like talk to me in the shower and talk to me. Just one day I was driving somewhere and it said, make sure you don't do this and make sure you don't do that. And as sure as I felt it saying it, I said, I understand, I won't, I agree. It was like an internal feeling that just said, make sure you don't do this and that. And I said, I won't, I agree. So, you know, I believe God's got me. I believe I have so much work to be done with this vessel. A lot of great things coming through the struggle, through the pain, through the hurt, you know. I got my baby boy that's got to be covered, my daughters, you know, so God is good. And if we just give it all to him, everything is going to fall in line and be okay. I do believe that. I am a believer. And so masculine energy is just me balancing myself and balancing my life. It's just like I know somebody else going through a divorce. Can't say I know him personally. I know him from a distance, through family, through friends, going through a divorce, and they was like, and she doing this, and she doing that, and she doing that, but she leaving her children, she leaving. I mean, she just has to find her balance. I don't believe that you have to stop dreaming. I always say, if you stop dreaming, you just might just die. What's the purpose of going on? You want to still dream, you want to still do things, you want to be productive, you want to give back. You also want to bring with you your children forth. You want to be able to let them do piano or music or this and that and soccer and sports. And that's why you put a team around you, so that you can still conquer the world, have that team around them, but you have to be present. And present is just not like I was there, they was in their room, I was in my room. You have to be present with each other. That's the important part, to balance that thing. Balance that thing out, be present with each other, acknowledge. Because a lot of times we just speed through life. And if we don't take our time to look back, I always say the rear view mirror. Sometimes I've gone so straightforward and looked forward that I didn't take time to. You have to glance back in that rear view mirror and see what was behind me watching me, but I didn't acknowledge it and I didn't pay attention to it. That's important. I always say in my rear view mirror, you know, have to pay attention to my rear view mirror. You have to look back at the past sometimes to understand where you're going and what you've gone through and what you're coming out of. So that's important. That's very, very important. I can't stress that enough. Looking at my rear view mirror to see who's watching me and learning what I'm doing or what they don't want. And their wife or whatever. Like I say, my 3 boys, you don't know what they were looking at. You know, because I'm so headstrong, I'm so matter of fact. I have to keep going, I have to keep moving. Because as a little girl, I want to say this and then I want to get off of here. As a little girl, my mother cried a lot. She would cry and cry and cry and cry. And as a little girl, I could just remember me feeling like, stop crying and do something about it. Do something about it. You just staying stuck. Who wants to just be stuck? You want to keep moving. You don't want to just keep talking about the past and living in the past. That's how I felt. Keep moving. Keep doing your thing. Do something. Get it done. That's how I felt. And that's how I feel. Keep moving. Get stuff done. But at the same time, look back in your rearview mirror and just take a look back there too. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a blessed day.